Views expressed by Casters Guild members are only the opinions of that member, and that could change from day to day. Guild members may use mature language, but that in no way means they are mature. Listener discretion is advised.
You were just on your way to Tashi Station to pick up some power converters, but now you find yourself at the bottom of a Rancor pit because you pissed off the wrong ex-bounty hunter. Hope you're well trained with a lightsaber, because that's the spell we're casting tonight on Casters Guild. Hello there, and thank you for tuning into this episode of Casters Guild. I am your guildmaster and resident Jedi, Rick Perry.
And I am your guildmaster. I forgot all about Jedi, Kane.
And joining us are two returning guild members. Feel free to introduce yourselves.
I am... hold on. I did have like a role or something. I forget what it was, though. It's been a minute.
Guild officer.
Yeah, guild officer, editor, all around goofy grizz. That's me, ya boy. Here to talk a little bit more about the wars.
And guild member, even though they don't need my kind of scum, Kimberly Howard.
Nice. But no, seriously, who the fuck needs Jedi anymore, right?
Yeah. Thank you. Right, I can finally it's actually really cool that they're finally doing these stories and stuff with
now,
not necessarily the side characters, but it's anytime, even in watching fan films and stuff, when the prequels were still coming out and stuff, is that they would have these kind of the street level characters or the bounty hunters or the military people and stuff, and it would be kind of interesting and everything, and then all of a sudden some a-hole with a lightsaber shows up and then it just completely falls apart, and I'm so damn sick of that. It's you're pretty tasty at fight, but being a Jedi sucks. Okay, can we address that?
I will say that you just described season 2 of The Mandalorian, but
yeah, which is why do you think I love it? Why do you think I lose my mind over it so damn much? It was one of the it felt so tailored to me, and I have no problem sounding selfish and conceited saying that. It was so great.
You say who needs Jedi, yet the only Star Wars properties I can think without one is Solo and Rogue One.
Well, yeah. I will say, Rogue One, though. Rogue One is arguably...
And even then, Rogue One had a Sith, so a very important Sith.
Yeah.
But it had the Sith, and plus two, I can't think of how to pronounce their names now, but the two monk guys, the one, they still believed in the Force.
They should have explored that more, too.
Just the fact that, they believed spiritually in the Force and stuff. They weren't
Force
doing
sensitive,
crazy
maybe
flips and moving shit with their mind and everything and stuff. But it was just this faith of it was something to believe in and everything. That was so cool, and that was a really interesting look at it.
I will say this to explain it in a TTRPG sense. I can't remember his name, but Donnie Yen's character. He was essentially
that was Chirrut Imwe, wasn't it?
Oh, okay, yeah. I terrible trying to remember everybody, all the new characters' names.
And it's Star Wars names too, right? So I mean...
Crazy. Yeah. But he would be just he would just be just a regular dude with a force feat.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's I'm blind and I can see with the Force. Literally the only thing I can do with the Force.
Yeah, literally took that flaw of blind in order to get the perk of Force sensitive.
Right. So I mean, there's a whole race in the Star Wars universe based around that idea. The Miraluka, they're born physically without eyes. They have, normal humanoid face and facial features, but just where our eyes would be, they more or less have an extended, brow, and they often, I don't think they're ever really seen, or they don't allow others to see them without their, kind of facial coverings. They all have, I don't know, some of it seems tied to belief, or some of it may be clan or family or something like that, but they all have symbolic coverings for their lack of eyes, but they see through the Force, which I always thought was the most badass thing ever. They've always been my favorite race in the Star Wars universe.
Or from the Old Republic BioWare stuff, wasn't it? Or at least where they were introduced?
Right, yeah, they were canon into that.
Oh,
Okay.
man.
that kind of arc. And you know, for that reason, perhaps we won't ever get, you know, a modern day adaptation of it, but the source material's definitely there. They own the rights to it essentially by extension, so you know, they could certainly redo that now. And
Just have one of them pop up. in one of the
Right,
live
yeah.
action things. Yeah, I mean they're cherry picking like all the Legends continuity and all that stuff. I mean they even did that with the prequels and stuff too. Just, you know, any of the expanded stuff, they're like, well, that's kind of cool. You know, they can just pluck that and then put it in the new shows. I mean, hell, they had they took the boss monsters from the FPS game from the 90s and brought them back to end the season 2 of The Mandalorian. Was it the Dark Troopers, the
yes, yeah,
Star
yeah.
Wars, Star Wars version of Terminator?
So
Which
badass.
I will say, more Star Wars villains need a dubstep theme song because that just makes it even more badass.
Truth.
I mean, every lightsaber fight looks like a rave, anyways. So
Yep. So
Especially
there you go.
once the prequels came around and they were like, yes, we do have more than 3 lightsaber colors.
right.
Right. Well,
Thank
that
you, Samuel.
and it was also like they got like super acrobatic and, you know, the fight choreography. Like, I mean, you watch the original movies and stuff, and it's like, you know, two-handed like broadsword fighting and stuff with like this real big swings and making it, you know, big and dramatic. And then the new ones show up, and then it's basically like, okay, we're gonna swing and do as many flips, and like we've got all this wire work that we're gonna get down that we can get away with now, so we're gonna do it like a motherfucker.
Not a Jet Li in sight.
Nope. But they had a Ray Park, which is still pretty damn good.
Where did he go, by the way?
He's still doing stunt stuff, I think, and I mean he, you know, I'm pretty sure, yeah, because he was a stuntman and like fight choreographer and stuff like before did that, so I'm pretty sure he just kind of kept doing that.
I think we talked in the other episodes about what a waste it was to kill him in the first fucking episode, didn't we?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What a waste. They knew it too. They knew it when they brought his ass back. They're like, oh yeah, we have to bring him back because that's just such a fucking waste. And boy, man, they really, I think it was Rebels where they gave him his ending that he deserved, and I'm like,
Yeah.
fuck, that is hardcore.
Yeah.
Okay,
Because that was like the
show-
penultimate thing with him and his brother, right?
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah,
Savage
Skywalker.
Opress. No,
Darth.
damn it.
Darth Balls.
I know Clancy Brown did his voice, so I'm trying just not to call him Mr. Krabby. So,
Darth Krabs.
Darth
Yeah.
Krabs.
what was his character? Starship Troopers, Sergeant Zim. That's basically,
Oh my-
yeah.
Are you feeling the Force yet, Mr. Krabs?
Speaking of Starship Troopers, I know this is a little off base, but did you guys know that Blanche from Golden Girls is in it?
Wait, what?
No shit.
No.
I did not. News to me.
We all learned something
about
today.
Yeah,
The more
she's
you know.
she's the school instructor with the scary dark eyeglasses, like the sunglasses.
Really?
Look up Rue McClanahan, Starship Troopers.
Okay, yeah, I'll definitely have to.
Hey.
Yeah, when they're dissecting the bugs,
Mhm.
right?
You know how I know this?
Oh.
Because I'm a Rue McClana fan.
Oh.
Simp.
I'm
just
in
kidding.
I'm in the fan club.
That gets,
Look,
that gets,
you know
this
what?
is an audio medium, but it gets a golf clap.
Look,
That gets
I-
a play.
Thank you. Let's just say that if Miss Blanche Devereaux was still around, I would throw down. Okay, yeah, a little bit of a simp, a little bit. That old lady knows what she's doing.
In
Okay,
the Golden Girl Smasher Pass
Experience.
Yeah.
gets a smash.
Well, she better. She's had so much practice at it.
Right? Sheesh.
And that's my subtle way of saying I prefer Dorothy.
I just feel like the character. It's okay. Wow, we've went way off base, but
I know, right?
I'm not 100% sure the character Dorothy would be that great. I mean,
Well, I mean, Golden Girls is just a Star Wars story anyway, right?
yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Oh wait, I mean, wasn't
Arthur was in the holiday special.
Yeah.
So there you
yeah.
go. So it all fits.
What's
Yeah, that's
the Arthur-
exactly when she was gonna execute Order 66.
what was B. Arthur's character's name in Golden
Full
Girls?
circle. Oh
What?
God.
B. Arthur's character's name in Golden Girls.
It was
got
Dorothy.
It's Dorothy. Hold on, no, Dorothy would be great. Betty White's character was
Rose.
Rose.
Rose. That's it. Rose wouldn't be great. Rose wouldn't be great. Dorothy would break dicks off. Anyways,
Okay. I'm glad we've established that now.
speaking of holiday special, oh no, that's Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yeah.
They should do another holiday special. Well,
We
no,
are
they
getting
did.
it.
They
Yeah.
did the
The
Lego
Lego
one,
one.
right?
Mhm.
Oh, that was good. That was
Was.
I don't know if I saw
surprisingly
that.
good. It's
The,
surprisingly
It's
good.
go check out
actually
Disney
did-
Plus. It's there.
Okay, yeah,
they
yeah.
actually
Bet.
done 2 of them now. They did the one that's just the Lego Star Wars Holiday Special, which is basically their Christmas, or they do Life Day.
Yeah, the
Again,
Wookiee
but it
Life Day.
actually takes place after Rise of Skywalker,
Mhm.
which is kind of cool. But then they also did, I can't remember what it's called now, but they did a Halloween one that was supposed to be like a anthology, like a little bit of an anthology or something.
Oh.
But yeah, this like last Halloween they did another one. I didn't get a chance to watch it, but I think it was done by the same people. So
Yeah, those Lego people are they're doing it right.
Faux show. They got it diggity down.
I will say the repeated bringing up of time travel in these properties is really making me think.
Are we still talking about Golden Girls?
Are we?
yeah,
I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
Golden
Um,
Girls Endgame.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Why not just bring Marvel into it too?
Well, Rose is going to get the Infinity Gauntlet at some point. That's just
Yeah,
what-
and then like what?
Uses
The Arthur's
oven
gonna
mitt.
look up at her and she's gonna be like, "What did it cost, Rose?" And she's gonna be like, "Everything."
Oh man. Oh, that means Betty White is just a variant.
Yeah.
Oh Lord.
Anywho,
So
But yeah,
Star
no,
Wars.
Like an onion.
But-
It's got
but
so
yeah,
many
but-
layers.
with them bringing Ahsoka into Mandalorian season 3,
Mhm.
they
Which-
well,
It was
Rosario
like 2.5.
Dawson can
It was a
fucking-
little-
okay, 2.5.
She looks good as Ashoka too.
But that just confirms that there is time travel in Star Wars now.
Does
What?
it?
Yeah, because I mean, do we have? I keep forgetting because I keep meaning to go back and rewatch Mando season 1 and 2, but like I prefaced, I'm a little bit behind at the moment with my media. I've had a lot of shit going on, but in any case, I have we like in any kind of firm way established a timeline that we're working with in Mando 1 and 2?
Yeah.
Like,
It's
I mean,
five
like a
years-
direct timeline, like we know, kind of like,
it's
oh,
5
this is
years
in
after
between.
Return of the Jedi.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, season 1 started. It was approximately 5 years after Return of the Jedi.
Right.
And
Okay.
then it went from there.
And Thrawn is still missing.
Right.
And Ezra is still missing, which I believe,
Right.
which is why she is tracking down Thrawn, is to find Ezra.
Hmm.
But again,
She checked Hawaii.
these people existing again confirms time travel in Star Wars.
So, it's being someone who didn't really watch Rebels or Clone Wars, really for that matter, you're gonna have to explain to me why that confirms time travel.
It's all in Rebels. I don't remember what it's called, but it's essentially there is like essentially walkways on the other side of reality where like God, I wish I could remember what they're called. But anyways, so there are certain portals where you can go into, and it's essentially you're walking behind. There are pathways, and you can go to different portals. And there was an instance where Darth Vader was fighting Ezra, and he was going to die. Or was he fighting Ezra? Anyways, Ahsoka... Oh, no. Ahsoka was fighting Darth Vader, and Ezra went and saved Ahsoka, pulling her out of that timeline and
Right.
into his timeline. Which was, just a few weeks after that or something like that. But it was still, he saved her, he pulled her away. Yeah, it's weird. It's weird, and I think a lot of people were afraid that they were going to retcon a bunch of stuff because time travel exists now. Which they could.
Yeah,
They could.
Interesting.
they'll
Good, but
probably
they're
keep
still
it in their
keeping
back
going
pocket
off
until they
timeline.
need it.
Mm-hmm. Do you say alternative timeline? What'd you
Oh
say,
no,
Cameron?
I said they could, but they're so busy filling out the timeline
Yeah.
now and
Mhm.
stuff. So I mean, because yeah, they had that, what was it, the 30-year gap from the original trilogy into the sequel trilogy, which now they jump 5 years. We've got the Mandalorian, but now we have this time frame of Mandalorian's happening and Book of Boba Fett, and
Right, and
now we've what is it? We've got the Obi-Wan show that's
that's
coming
going
up.
to probably explain how he aged 60 years in a decade.
Yeah,
Maybe.
it's stress. I mean, like, you ever seen somebody who goes through a term of the presidency? You know what I mean? They age like 10 years, so it's just stress.
I mean, it has to be because Uncle Owen,
Yeah.
he aged pretty fast too.
Yeah, desert planet. It's got to be murder on the skin.
Horrible.
Ton of stress. Yep, that's
Horrible.
it.
Yeah, all that
Yep,
sand
general
and
stress,
that
the day-to-day
blue milk.
survival, living on a desert planet, being played by a different actor. All those will definitely mess
Just-
with how you look,
Wreak havoc. Wreak
Yep.
havoc.
especially that
complexion.
third one.
But going
I mean,
back,
That
look what
third
happened to
one's
War
a
Machine.
real bitch.
yeah,
Look what happened to War Machine.
it's stress of being
Shit.
an experimental
No,
tech
they-
soldier. Yeah.
Yeah,
Where's
no,
where'd the one
don't
go?
bring up War Machine because I say that he got improved. So
But he still looks older. The point is he looks older. I
Yeah.
didn't say he. I think he looks
Okay,
better.
Okay, that I will concede. Yes.
There we go.
Okay.
He's way cooler and he looks better, but he's still older.
Yes.
But speaking of filling out the timeline, they've already confirmed that they're going to start making properties in the High Republic era. So they've got plenty of time to fill in there.
Hmm.
And okay, the High Republic, is that like basically the renewed Republic after the events of like the Skywalker saga?
They're saying
or-
it's 350 years before the Phantom Menace. If that gives you an idea.
Oh, okay. So it's in between the Old Republic and the Jedi Civil War, or the
Yeah, it's-
Mandalorian Wars.
It's basically like the new, the Knights of the Old Republic or the Old Republic. What was that's in the Legends now? The High Republic is basically replacing that. It's pretty much just what came before
The Golden
they
Days.
started with the prequels and everything. So
right.
Which is smart because that's like, I mean,
That's
if
my
you take
favorite
out
era.
the books and everything like that, there's a lot of just open territory to explore there. Like they could just make a bunch of shit up at this point.
yeah,
So.
I mean everything before Phantom Menace is basically in the Legends canon now, anyway. So.
Mhm.
Yep. Well, we did establish that Knights of the Old Republic was canon, right? It's
No,
still
that's
canon.
the BioWare stuff. No, that's all in Legends stuff.
Okay.
Yeah.
Actually,
Cool. Yeah.
That's, I mean, honestly, yeah, the Knights of the Old Republic and the Old Republic MMO, the BioWare stuff, I think might even just be like an alternate canon to the alternate canon at this point. So,
Yeah.
Just make your own canon.
yeah, exactly. I mean,
I mean, and honestly, I don't really have a problem with them erasing all the old canon because let's face it, there was a fucking lot.
Yeah.
There was a lot. And
Yeah.
it would have really chained them down to the point to where they couldn't really explore the way they needed to. So I'm really glad that they got rid of all that old canon because I'm pretty sure if they got rid of that old canon, Mandalorian wouldn't be playing out the way it is. The
Definitely
Book of Boba Fett definitely wouldn't have been played out the way it is. I mean, there were definitely some similarities, but
the Mandalorian, at least the first season, was originally supposed to be the Boba Fett movie. Like, that's what they originally took and got most of their ideas and stuff for it from. Like, you can even see in some of the concept art, everything with was it some of like the other like they were supposed to have some of the other bounty hunters from that scene in Empire Strikes Back were supposed to be in there. Like, was it IG-11 that Taika Waititi played? That was actually going to just straight up be was it IG-88 from Empire Strikes Back, and then they just kind of created a new character, but he was still the same style assassin droid. Which, holy shit! Finally seeing one of those things in action was like
Oh yeah.
amazing. Because the freaking like the Legends continuity and stuff was borderline on like going on like Warhammer levels of just like these things are like, how is this thing so ridiculous, like impossibly tough got all this crap built into it and all this stuff. Like, it should just like the heroes would never stand a chance for it and stuff. But then they make the show, and it's just like, oh no, it's got a gun in each hand. It can see like 360 degrees, and it can fire in any direction. And they made it just look absolutely badass.
Yeah.
And then, of course, the running joke of it just constantly trying to blow itself up.
Yeah.
Every
Yeah.
time
Self-destruct mode now.
I'm not curb stomping these guys. Well, time to self-destruct. Cannot be captured.
I think the new stuff is actually doing wonders for droids. Just
Yeah.
wonders. I mean, like and like they're exploring droids that were just essentially background thing. Like is it still season? Yeah, it's still season 1. The one guy from the IT crowd, he did the one.
Oh, Richard Iwata.
Oh,
He
yeah.
did the bug-eyed alien.
That's his name, yeah.
Droid.
And it's
Zero?
like
Yeah.
yeah, and you always see those in the background doing bullshit, whatever,
Mhm.
and
He was
and-
played so well, too.
oh, so well. And then you get to see the kind of droid that Cal Kestis had too,
Yeah.
Yep.
which
That was
The BD unit.
oh, those things are so cool.
Hmm.
Yeah.
They're so cool. It's like everybody is like in. It's
I
like
want a BD unit or a BB unit for that matter. You know, something that
I mean, if you think about it, it's like if I ever run
R2
another
unit. Fuck.
if-
Like,
if I ever run another Star Wars TTRPG, I think everybody's going to have one of those droids.
A BD.
Have your
Like a
personal
little-
droid.
I've played
Yeah.
an HK unit as in a Star Wars TTRP before. It was fun. The
Yeah.
assassin droids,
Uh-huh.
like from the Old Republic era, they're basically like their version of IG units.
The only droid I haven't really liked so far has been Dio.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Like
Which one was he?
I feel like R2 was super popular, so they're like, okay, make it smaller and cuter. All right, we got BB-8. Okay, BB-8 was so successful, let's make it smaller and cuter. And then we got Dio, and it's like you went overkill. It's too small, too cute.
Oh, kind of, yeah. I mean, I did like the fact that it could actually, like, it seemed a little bit weird with just the fact that it could, like, fully talk.
Hmm.
Stuff like it wasn't doing the droid chirps and everything, but it could actually.
Yeah, I kind of think that only really like the protocol droid should talk. I mean,
Right,
that's
yeah.
just me. That's just me.
Well, I mean, like, you know, from a logistical standpoint, yeah, like, you know, realistically in real life, I would imagine it would be ideal for your droid to be able to communicate with you or whatever. But it's been established for so long that non-protocol droids that don't have any real business speaking
Talking,
or whatever,
right.
they just communicate in little blips and bloops.
Beeps,
Well,
whistles,
and
That's
not-
just how
whistles.
it is.
Yeah, and
Or
not only
whistles,
that,
yeah.
like most of the communication that you're going to have with the astromech droid is when he's plugged into your ship
Ow.
and he's like because they communicate that way.
Mhm.
They communicate through text.
Yeah.
Right.
And I
Yeah.
think that Luke, the only reason why he could, like those people that can communicate with R2 are just the ones that are familiar with like droid speak.
Yeah.
Like they're familiar with the code and everything that they pop out with the.
Like the euphemism and the mannerisms and
Well,
stuff.
I
Right.
think even in what was it? If you watch like Luke with R2 in A New Hope, he has to go through C-3PO to find out like what he's talking about, or
Mhm.
like the bit with
And
the
that- I think that
what was
was
it when
like-
the sand people were coming up on him and
Mhm.
R2 started getting scared. But then what was it by Empire Strikes Back? Then they're holding conversations when they're looking for Yoda
Mhm.
stuff. So
Learns over
Yeah,
time.
I think it was also kind of an insinuated thing that was something that Luke inherited from Anakin, because Anakin, like, one of his Force strengths in like the lore is that he had an affinity for mechanisms and droids and stuff like that. So he had a almost like what we would consider a supernatural understanding of them, and that's why he was able to build them and basically make a pod racer out of fucking a garbage heap, all that kind of stuff. That was all to do with his Force sensitivity. Like, every Jedi has their, or Sith, or Force sensitive has their Force talent, and like that was more or less his, or one of them anyway, because he was obviously became a Sith Lord. He was one of the more powerful ones. He probably had a couple of characteristic traits you could name to him, but that was definitely prime among them,
Yeah.
which I always thought was super badass. But yeah, I just think that it's cool that they allude to maybe Luke doesn't have that spot on, but he got enough passing of it to understand C-3PO and being able to pick through him and kind of suss it out, as it were.
Oh, and speaking of the those droids and everything from New Hope, the one that blew its gasket, that Luke picked,
red one.
he showed up in Book of Boba Fett.
Did he?
I am almost 100% sure that he showed up in Book of Boba Fett.
Because that was an R4 unit.
Mm-hmm.
It would kind of make sense. I mean, like, it's still the correct planet
Yeah,
and all that.
I mean, I didn't see Book of Boba, but I remember the unit from,
Mm-hmm. Which Book of Boba? I want to talk about that for a little bit.
Okay.
Yeah,
we're
let's
gonna,
go.
we're gonna, yeah, that's why we're here.
Yeah.
That's why we're here.
That's why we're here. And also it's going to be fun, educating Grizz on what went down in the Book of Boba.
I am here to learn.
So Danny Trejo,
word of
the
our
Rancor
Lord and Savior,
trainer.
Boba.
Danny
Yeah.
Trejo, the Rancor
What?
trainer.
Yeah.
It sounds like we
God.
just made that shit up, but it's
No,
true.
that's real. That's 100% real.
So, to be perfectly
How did I not
honest,
see a meme of this? Like, because I feel like there's like a million memes of like Trejo with the Rancor and like.
Oh, there definitely
there-
is. I don't know. Once
So,
again,
like, how have I
we
not
talked
seen
about
that?
this beforehand. We don't know how you've missed it all, how you've managed to dodge and weave the spoilers and the memes, but like they're out there.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and
seriously,
to cover again, like I've walked into this knowing and accepting that this is going to have spoilers from me, which is normally not something I do, or like I try to avoid them usually rather, but I've given myself more than enough time to get caught up, and I just failed to. So I'm just gonna
Well-
get educated and spoiled. Here we go.
but let's be honest too, though, because Robert Rodriguez was the showrunner, so of course Danny Trejo was going to show up.
Yeah,
Of course.
that's fair.
Of course.
Makes sense.
So, I've definitely heard the jokes about how, like, this is supposed to be, like, people are calling it Mando Season 3. But I think that the Mando 2.5 is probably more accurate than anybody really realizes. And I think that's why they called it the Book of Boba Fett. It's
Is it
not
like
so-
an amendment, more or less?
Yes,
to,
yes.
like an amended story.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
This is still the story of Mando.
This is
But-
just the book of Boba Fett from Mandalorian.
Exactly.
Right.
Okay, yeah.
Exactly.
Okay, yeah, no, I could see that.
And
Not having even watched it, obviously.
It
but
also
right,
does
right.
make a whole lot of
I
sense
can-
when they basically announce the book of Boba Fett during the Mandalorian.
right.
And so,
they
like,
announced Boba at the end of Mando 2, and
Yeah.
he was kind of integral to how that wrapped up.
it makes sense. I just got frustrated with it because like I signed up for the Boba Fett show, and then we had like 3 episodes where we don't see Boba Fett at all. It's just basically more of the Mandalorian.
Well, I think it's just
What?
one episode. I think it's one episode where he's just completely gone.
Yeah.
Yeah, but like still, there's at least three episodes where like Mandalorian is the focus. Like it is not the Boba Fett show for those 3 episodes. It's the Mandalorian, and like that I was
And it's
kind of
what,
like upset
an
about a little bit.
8-episode miniseries or 6
Yeah.
episode.
Yeah, so like I was a little upset about that. By like the 3rd episode, and it's still focusing on the Mandalorian. I'm like, okay, like you had me on episode 1 where it was Mandalorian focused. I was on board. Like I had been a while since I'd seen the Mandalorian. I was hungry for more Mando content. Let's go. Episode 2, I was like, all right, we're pushing it. And by episode 3, I'm like, come on! Like I'm invested in Boba Fett's story by now. Let's get back to it.
Well, it was kind of a bit much when like the last episode was essentially, the climax is Mandalorian heavy.
Yeah.
Which, okay, cool, I get it. You get to see, Grogu fucking knock out a Rancor though. That's fun.
Oh, I fucking love Grogu.
Look, I'm telling you, I want to get a big van and get Boba Fett riding a Rancor, fucking air sprayed on the side of it now.
Like a la fanboys, like side van art. Hell yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I'm so on board for that.
Fucking and then like Obi-Wan the Wizard on the other side with like calling down lightning and shit, and then someone's gonna be like, he doesn't do that, and I'm like, get fucked! I put what I want on my van.
Yeah, is this your van? I don't think I see your name on this van. Fuck you.
He's riding Chewbacca into battle with the lightning down.
Was he in the C-3PO like backpack? His like legs just sticking out like
absolutely, yeah. That's his
got his
saddle.
rifle over Chewie's like right shoulder.
It's crazy. It's all over the place.
Oh my god. Well, I don't know if I talked about it on like any of the previous two like Star Wars pods we've done, but like I was like talking about how much I love Grogu and like just as a character, and like he's fucking adorable, and like they do him so well, and he's super powerful and really like interesting, like could be where they're gonna go with him. But like my wife and I started collecting like almost every Grogu plush or whatever, like miniature or whatever that you could buy when like Mando first started seriously putting merch out.
Right.
And we even took like, there's like a particular one, I think it's made by like Hasbro. It's got like a PVC, like kind of, it's like durable, or it's not like super dense hard, but it's got like a little give to it, you know? But the rest of his body's like a little plush except for his hands, and he's got kind of like a sack body or whatever, but he's like the size of like a little baby. And we took him on like a couple road trips and just took pictures with him in random scenery. And like we also took pictures with him, us with him in the pictures. And they're just some of my favorite pictures I think I have or will ever take in my life. They're just so... My wife's a fucking genius for that, but like it was adorable and I loved it.
I do have a question.
Yeah, what's up?
As a big Grogu fan, I would like to ask you, where would you like to see him going, or where do you think he will be going in the future?
Well, I think from
the point that you watched.
Right, yeah, because obviously this is without the context of like Book of Boba and stuff like that. If there's anything that would be relevant to this in that, which I'm sure there probably is. But I mean, honestly, as a character, I would like to see Grogu have the ability and choice to explore like his Force sensitivity and stuff like that. But you know, it's going to be difficult for him to develop as a character and have like a lot of choice, right? Because I mean, essentially his only choices will be to abandon, like, you know, kind of not recognize his ability and try to stay away from the world or whatever, or to kind of fight for what he and, you know, his allies see as right, or fall to the dark side or become an instrument for the Empire. You know, there's kind of the main probabilities that the way I see it. And I'd like to see him be able to, you know, kind of grow and get training to be able to control a lot of the things that go on. And then from there, be able to kind of develop to the point, because right now, again, you know, he's still kind of a little baby, but hopefully he'll mature up to a point where, you know, he'll have choice and impact that he can make outside of just, you know, those types of things, if that makes sense.
Yes, I was having thoughts, but yeah. So I think that's definitely all of those complex thoughts that you just put into that. They definitely didn't put that much thought into it in the Book of Boba Fett.
That's unfortunate. But you know what? That's okay.
However, as you were describing all of that, I also had another wonderful thought. Okay. So basically, here's a big spoiler that I'm about to drop on you.
All right.
So he was with Luke, right?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Mando, like the devoted father he is, was like, "Fuck you, Luke. I'm coming to visit him." Because Luke was like, "No, you can't come visit him. He's in training."
Emotional attachments.
Correct. Yeah. And Mando was just like, "You know what? I'm gonna go see him. What you gonna do?"
Yeah.
So he shows up and he has this little package that has. Okay. The cutest...
I was about to say, no, you don't leave out the reason that he was going to see.
Oh, yeah. He was bringing...
The package was the whole reason that he went.
Well, was it? Or did he use it as an excuse?
6 of one, half a dozen of the other.
Well, let's just say, hold on. Let's just say they acknowledged that the Beskar spear was kind of a dumb weapon.
Yes.
And so they took the Beskar spear and they had the same blacksmith, the same Beskar blacksmith from The Mandalorian.
The armorer.
Turned it into something for Grogu.
And it's the cutest little chainmail shirt ever.
Now,
Oh
here's
my
the
God.
thing that I keep hearing conflicting stuff. Now, did she melt down the entire spear or just the spear tip?
She melted down.
Is that what-
She. I mean, I think it's implied that she melted the whole thing down to
That was
make
kind of
armor.
That's kind of the impression that I got, but the
Yeah.
main thing that she was going on, because the reasoning was to get rid of it because it could pierce Beskar. It was a threat to Mandalorians, so it needed to be removed.
That and it made more armor for more foundries.
Right, that's always
Yeah.
the thing is, they always try to, scrap and keep like any kind of leftovers or materials for the foundlings, and that was going to be my thing, like, logistically, if you're looking at it, and again, obviously we're talking about Star Wars, it's still real to me, damn it, okay? So I always look at it, I always try to put it, in perceptions of logic in some cases when I, theorize or metacraft or whatever. But like thinking about it, I feel like the tip of that spear would have been sufficient. Just the tip, Baron. I saw that. I think the tip of the spear would have been sufficient to craft. I mean, obviously, I didn't see the physical representation of it, but I would think for a being of Grogu's size, the tip of a spear would be sufficient Beskar to make a chain steel shirt out of. You could probably save the haft and whatever other parts you could scrap from it for foundlings and other type of armors and stuff. You would think.
But either way, Baron, please continue with what they did.
Oh
in
yeah,
the show.
sorry. I'm riddled with ADHD. I apologize.
No, you're
Got a
fine, you're fine.
segue, I hopped and wrote it.
So he takes it essentially because he wants to give him this gift. He wants to he wants to give him armor. And, Luke's like, no, you still can't see him. You can drop this off. I'll keep it for him, but you can't see him.
He says that to Ahsoka.
Yes. I was paraphrasing. I'm still trying to,
Okay,
maybe keep a little bit of. But so
Okay.
he eventually notices that Grogu still has this. What's the word I'm looking for? Attachment to Mando.
Something is holding him back in his training.
Correct. So he he gets the little chainmail shirt, puts it out in front of him, and then he gets. I think it's Yoda's fucking lightsaber.
It's
isn't
Yoda's
it?
lightsaber.
Yeah, it was.
Which-
he deliberately said that it was Yoda's.
Yeah, and I don't know why that strikes me as super fucking dumb to give him Yoda's lightsaber. It seems like, I don't know, a bit much, maybe a little racist.
I think it's
But-
just because it's the correct size.
Yeah, it's a size thing.
Size matters not.
Well, not only that, like part of becoming a Jedi is making your own damn lightsaber. You're not
You still
passed
have
down.
to-
You're not
Yeah,
passed
I don't
down
think.
like-
Yeah, but you got to think Luke was given
had
his first
starter one,
and then built his
he made
own.
His own.
Yeah, like he was given his father's lightsaber, and then he got to make his own. And I think Luke is more. I don't
Which,
think.
let me tell you, I
Traditionally,
also thought was
making your own
dumb.
lightsaber is more of like the completion of your training. It doesn't mean that you can't.
Luke,
No.
take your father's lightsaber. It killed hundreds of younglings. What? Nothing.
I mean,
No.
hell, even Ray was hand
It's something your
like
father
delivered her
wanted. When I
first
picked it up from his
lightsaber,
burning
you know what I
body.
mean?
Didn't she
Like-
take it from a box?
Well, yeah, but
Yeah,
essentially
but
that's what I mean,
Maz
like,
Katana
that was-
gave it to her first. I mean, like, yeah, she was led to it and was like, "Here, you should have this."
Right. So I mean, like, I get what you're saying, but in the era of Force users where the Jedi Order is no longer a standing active thing, that's I feel like it's more Force sensitives are found or led, like Rick said, to their first awakening of their true power or potential, and then from there that's where they can kind of that's where you see Luke kind of graduate to a Jedi Knight, when he builds the green lightsaber after he loses his hand, and
Kyber crystal's got to be getting rare at this point, anyway.
yeah, that's very true. It's not,
Yeah, didn't it-
especially with BioWare stuff being nixed, like we talked about. It's not like you can just bust up in a Kinrath cave and they're all inside eggs and shit.
Well, and I think that even that one that was in again Fallen Order, didn't that planet get destroyed?
I don't know.
I think that
I
planet
think
got
they
destroyed.
did because I think they target it specifically because that's where Jedi could easily obtain Kyber crystal.
But anyways, so he sets these things out in front of him and is basically like, hey, you have to choose. Do you want the shirt or do you want the lightsaber?
Oh, that's fucked up.
Anyways, Luke kicks him out of the order because he chooses the shirt.
He's not dumb.
doesn't even drive him to Tatooine. He sends R2D2 to send him to Tatooine.
He's like, here, take this fucking R2 Uber.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Get the fuck out.
That's exactly what it
Some
is.
cab money.
Now, the only reason why I was like, I'm still kind of excited about this because, like you were saying, it would be nice to see him explore the Force and, you know, get that training, everything like that. I think he is still going to get it.
Mhm.
But he's not going to get it from Luke, and he's not going to get it the traditional way. I think he's going to get it from Ezra.
Oh, that's interesting. I was thinking potentially Ashoka, but I guess it would make more sense at this point. I mean, she kind of was like trying to lay all that on Luke, I guess, at this point.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Well, and I think that Ahsoka, I think that she is going to end up finding Ezra, and Ezra is going to... I think that when she finds Ezra, he's going to be in, like, a weird state, and she's going to have to bring him back to reality, but he's going to have such a weird view of the Force at this point that he is going to be the only one that can train Grogu. I think that's where it's going to end up going.
I don't recall what I've seen of the conclusion of Rebels is spotty, because at the time that it was like relevantly like airing or coming out, I had like spotty like streaming service, like whatever. I think my subscription issues, whatever. I didn't catch all of it, and I just haven't gone back. Like I said, I'm out of touch with it or whatever. I know I need to go back and catch up or just watch what I missed on Disney Plus and whatnot. But from what I recall, you know, Ezra, especially when Keenan, what's his master starts with
Prince
K.
Jr.
No, from Rebels, the
Yeah,
Jedi.
Freddie Prinze Jr.
Yeah.
Well, I'm talking about the character though.
Right. But
Yeah,
I don't
but-
remember his name. Which,
Yeah.
actually, he ended up showing up in the Bad Batch.
Oh, did he?
He was a child Jedi whose master just got killed by Order 66.
Oh wow, yeah. I mean, they could use that for so many different, you know, characters in arcing stories, because there were thousands of younglings at the temple that lost masters that day, you know. So I mean, I don't know, there's only a finite number of them that probably survived or whatever, but it's a thread they can continue to pull at, I guess. But yeah.
Well, since we were talking about Order 66, okay, there's another scene from, because there's a whole episode where they show, you know, what Mando is up to, and then they cut over and show Grogu and everything. But Luke helps him with some of his memories stuff, and we actually get to see a little bit of Grogu's memory from Order 66.
Oh wow.
Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah, and it's like the same thing that they did in Mandalorian when they showed Din Djarin's was remembering his village getting attacked when he was a little kid, like actually showing like the Clone Wars stuff and like actually making it like really intense and stuff.
Yeah.
They did that again with like Grogu's basically. See, the shot's pretty much him. He sees down a hallway and there's like 3 Jedi trying to hold off basically just this wave of the clone troopers. They just keep coming, and eventually the Jedi get dropped.
Wow.
Stuff. Yeah, it was wild.
Damn.
Mhm. Yeah, it was
Damn.
crazy. It's cool, though.
Yeah. Well, it's like, you know, that kind of seems to me, they've gotten so good with like these, and thankfully so, because there are so many stories, as we're finding out, they're continuing to draw together and stuff. But it reminds me of the ending of Rogue One, where it basically leads into the opening scenes of A New Hope, where, you know, Darth Vader's just fucking up that Republic, you know, cruiser or whatever, and ripping through there looking for Princess Leia and the plans to the Death Star to try and retrieve them from the rebels and shit. It was just so, and the way that they like kind of faded out, and like the lightsaber swings and the Wilhelm screams and the like the way that they thread these stories together lately, or in the like the modern stories that they've been doing, especially, have been chef's kiss.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, yeah, once the ship like detaches and takes off, and then they get that first shot inside, and it's like they had the alarm sound effect. Like it looked like it literally just turned into like 5 minutes before the opening crawl of A New Hope. And it was just like, even when I saw it in the theater, you even heard that like pop from the audience of just like, holy shit. Like they just nailed all of it. Like it was just
mind blown effect.
Right. I mean, I was even during like the big battle on Scarif, when that was like in full swing, and they had the old footage of Red Leader and Gold Leader stuff that they worked into the movie. And I know Red Leader's actor had passed away, but the guy that played Gold Leader even came in and did new dialogue just for Rogue One. But I was like, yeah, just the fact that they integrated that, because it's that part of the rebellion and stuff, and those guys were still around just before A New Hope. So yeah, it's very, it is fan service, but it's also very cool seeing, like, in a way, it just kind of locking things together and like filling it out and stuff. I mean, that's been one of the big appeals of Star Wars from the beginning, is it always felt like it was just this big expansive universe and stuff. And there was, you walk into the cantina on Mos Eisley, and like everybody in that damn room, it has some kind of story. The characters, they have a name. There's something happened to where they were in there and then saw two assholes pick a fight with an old man that had a lightsaber for some reason. Okay, that's kind of weird. It's just, I think it's one of those things that just actually has caused this franchise to turn into the, monster, that this multi-generational monster that it kind of is, that's still going strong and still has people of, older, it's, at least 3 generations behind it that, just love it.
Speaking of a wretched hive of scum and villainy, why not join the League of Do-Batters at T-Villain? T-Villain is a t-shirt site where you'll find a killer limited edition shirt being sold for $13 for only 24 hours. The following 24 hours will feature a new design, and so on and so forth. They choose the most ingenious designs that reflect everything from evil and villainy, as well as works pertaining to anything artistic, pulp style, lowbrow, pop culture, TV, movies, music, video games, comics, etc. All things cool and evil, basically. So check them out and help out Casters Guild. Click our link in the description down below.
That segue, though.
That segue, though. That's why we pay him. That's why we pay him the big bucks.
$0. Woo!
But you say Republic credits aren't good here?
Ooh.
Credits will do fine.
No, they won't.
You beat me to it. I was taking a sip, but it was so good.
So while I've got it pulled up here, I'd like to talk a little bit about the upcoming releases for Star Wars.
Oh.
We have a lot of movies that are going to be coming. We don't have exact dates for any of them. We do have 3 release dates for Star Wars movies, but they don't tell us which ones they're going to be. So we got December 22nd, 2023, December 19th, 2025, and December 17th, 2027. So basically, December every other year, we're looking at a new Star Wars movie.
I'm okay with that.
Yeah. That's pretty dope. I can deal.
So here are some of the options of what they could be. Okay, we've got
more than we've gotten, in some stretches of time.
we've got Star Wars Rogue Squadron.
I know a lot of fanboys will probably lose their shit over that one.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I have to admit I kind of did when I saw the announcement for it. So there's a part of me that like I'm a little bit on the fence because basically if I hear the sound of an X-wing, I turn into like a screaming 9-year-old. It's like I can't even control it at this point. Like I just completely lose my shit. I love it.
That's funny because whenever I do an impression of a TIE fighter, I turn into a screaming 9-year-old.
Yeah, that's what they sound like. Explode like them too, if you know what you're doing.
Yeah.
Like the space battles have always been kind of one of my favorite things with Star Wars and stuff. So I'm really excited about this. but at the same time, like it's tempered a little bit because like I know they had like the X-Wing and like Rogue Squadron books and stuff, and those were like they were okay for me. I wasn't a huge fan of them, but I also kind of feel like, at least right now, I would love to be proven wrong, but right now I kind of feel like Rogue One is about as far into like kind of the dark, gritty, kind of more militaristic side of Star Wars. I kind of feel like that's as far into that as you can get without it kind of just turning into like edgelord nonsense, for lack of a better term. Just like being able to still like have it, be able to still tell those stories, but not have it like turn into something that isn't Star Wars. Because Star Wars does have a certain feel to it, an aesthetic and everything, and it's like it's malleable enough to where you can still do a lot of stuff with it. I mean, you've got your the high flying kind of kung fu-ish or the martial arts style like lightsaber fights and stuff, like when the Jedi show up. I mean, there's the stuff with like the Mandalorian and we'll get back to this, but towards the end of Book of Boba Fett, where it just straight up turns into like a Western with laser guns stuff. Which, I don't know if another quick spoiler. I don't know if you had knew this or not, but Cad Bane shows up.
I think I did see like a quick snippet of like Cad Bane's like appearance in new Disney Plus like original series, but I didn't see it, I guess, like named to Boba Fett, but I assumed that's probably what it was.
Yeah, he shows up.
Dope.
It's when he literally
he's a bad motherfucker.
They literally have like a high noon showdown.
Yes, and like his literal first scene is him walking out of the desert. You just see the silhouette like it's a fucking Clint Eastwood movie.
That's dope.
It is, like that's all I'll say. Because you got to see it. You will love it.
Yeah, like I said, I definitely have the intent to watch it. I just cannot commit to when that's gonna be. But it will happen. But God, that sounds awesome.
If it makes you feel any better about Rogue Squadron, it's not just going to be like a military movie. It is going to be like a character-based story. Patty Jenkins will be playing a character, and it's going to be like her journey to be like the greatest fighter pilot ever. So if that makes you feel any better, it's not just going to be about the military stuff. It's going to be her journey.
She's directing.
Earhart does X-Wings, a Star Wars story. Just kidding.
Yeah, more or less.
But it essentially sounds like that's kind of an allegory plot. Is like she wants to be the best female pilot. That's kind of dope. I dig that. We need more female protagonists.
Yeah.
The next movie out of the gate, or I have no idea what order these are going to come out. This is just what I have on my list. Is an unnamed Taika Waititi Star Wars movie.
Anything Taika does, I'm on board for.
That's borderline. Like, I'm wondering if there's a way that they could somehow do like a Tag and Bink movie. I feel like that's what he's possibly going to be doing. Maybe something like in that vein almost, because I feel like that's just like right up his alley, or like his take. But, I seriously feel like that's really in his wheelhouse.
Yeah, I would really like to see him do a funny Star Wars movie.
Yeah, do one that's an actual comedy. Like, have it still be an adventure or whatever,
right?
Because it's Star Wars. But it's like what they did with was it Lower Decks and Star Trek.
I thought we were going to go with Thor Ragnarok because.
Yeah, Thor. Well, okay, Thor. Yeah, like Thor Ragnarok.
Because
but
that was a comedy.
I don't care. It's very much still. It is in continuity. It is a Star Trek show through and through, but it is still a straight up comedy stuff that happens to be in the Star Trek universe and everything. Like, and you could do that very easily with Star Wars.
No, I think you definitely could. And I think when a series so often successfully pulls off that yes, we have serious subject matter and plot and whatever throughout this story, but they still have lighthearted moments that land that, like, make you chuckle every time you rewatch it, or like, I mean, fucking look at the 70s, with the original trilogy and fucking yub nub. Like, I've still fucking love the Ewoks. And
Yeah.
I'm still convinced that fucking, I've said this, I think, on every Star Wars pod. Shit, George Lucas modeled Ewoks after himself. I don't know if you recall last time when we pulled up a side-by-side picture, Baron, but you were like, I will never unsee this. And I was like,
You
Like,
can, you
on
can go
God,
back to
bro.
the old episode, and it's linked in the description.
it is.
So-
Yeah, it's because it was fucking pivotal, and I stand by it. That is a claim I have held on to nearly my entire life, adult life or whatever. And that's Grizz's strange hill that he'll die on.
Well, this is my own hope that probably won't happen because it's a bit of a stretch. But Taika is starting to build a working relationship with Edgar Wright. He even helped him write Last Night in Soho, which was Edgar Wright's most recent movie. If you haven't seen it, it's fantastic. It'd be really cool to see him work together with Edgar Wright on Star Wars. Maybe he'd bring in Edgar Wright and get I think if we could get a little bit of Edgar Wright's paintbrush on Star Wars, that would be fantastic.
I mean, he's already proved that he can direct a good sword fight.
Mm-hmm.
Indeed.
Yeah, that would be fun.
All right. Next on my list is Rian Johnson's untitled Star Wars movie trilogy.
Sure, hit it. Let's do it.
Is that still happening?
As far as I know, I'm just reading the list of reported confirmed Star Wars movies. So,
Okay.
this is all I know. As of various reports in 2021, the project is still happening. That's what I'm reading here.
Just going to be 3 special editions of The Last Jedi just to make all you nerds' heads explode. They're just going to re-release The Last Jedi 3 times, and each one's going to be different somehow.
Just fucking hate you. So
Whatever. Either way, if they decide not to do the project, that will just give him more time to work on the Knives Out trilogy, which is coming. I don't know if you knew that or not, but Knives Out was a fantastic movie, and 2 more are coming direct to Netflix. So they're already working on a Knives Out trilogy.
I really like what Rian Johnson does.
Yeah.
I love his work. I just don't think that maybe he should touch an existing franchise that is supposed to be working in a direction that it is set. Maybe not give him creative liberties.
Yeah,
We've
already talked about they should have let JJ have his trilogy, and then they could have given Rian Johnson his trilogy after that. They shouldn't have intermingled.
That was the point I was about to make. Exactly, Rick. I'm not going to dredge up this dead body because I know we beat it to death or whatever, Dread Horse or whatever you want to call it, last episode or whatever. But fucking Snoke, come on. He was a plot piece set up by JJ, and then dude came in and was like, nah, fuck that. And then JJ just had to pick it up in part 3 and be like, okay, well, I guess I'll do this then.
Yeah.
It's like, that's fucked up. They need to keep it consistent.
Part 3. It wasn't even supposed to do part 3. It was that Jurassic World guy that was supposed to be doing that. So it was like, they've always, every one of these movies, they've kind of made up as they went along. They just had more time to plan it. But it was like, oh, hey, that we kind of screwed up hiring this guy, and they let him go. And then they were just like, well, we need to have somebody else make this, Star Wars movie that we've got a release date set. And they just threw J.J. Abrams into it. So, I mean, I feel a little bit bad for the guy, but it's like, yeah, it's at the same time, it's such a backtrack is we weren't even so. It was like, okay, well, what can we actually do with this now? Because I mean, even completely changed, the script, everything about it, and they had what was it it's got I think the shortest production time of any of these movies stuff. And it's like if they had, they had put it off for even just a few more months, and COVID then hit, so who knows what would have happened to its schedule then. But yeah, the whole movie got so rushed and stuff. That's why it's the mess that it is.
Yeah, I think the point being like consistency with the creative forces on such a large scope property. It, obviously, now hindsight being 2020 or whatever, and I'm sure it wouldn't be the same for every creative franchise or whatever, but consistency at the creative helm can make a big difference in the impact and overall, quality of the storytelling. I think we see that with I know they do like different directors and stuff, but obviously like the writing and all that kind of stuff is consistent with like Mando and shit like that. Those teams are all on point, know what they want.
Yeah, I think, and I mean, Mando really shows how you have a creative director, to where you have one dude that's overseeing an entire project, and they are directing the creative direction of this property. That's why Marvel was doing so well. Because you have Kevin Feige, and he's like, okay, we're going to go this direction. And you have, and no offense to some of the directors that came in and tried to exert their creative juices on it, but it was basically like, this is the direction we're going, and a director comes in and is like, you know what, I think that I want to go this direction. And they're like, no.
Yeah.
No. And I think that's what Star Wars needed at one point in time. It needed someone that was there, like Jon Favreau. Wow. Jon Favreau? Who the hell's that? I don't know. Jon Favreau, who is like, hey, this is the world that I've created, and this is the direction I'm going. We need to all be on the same page to make this cohesive.
I think Disney definitely learned a lesson there.
Yeah.
With Marvel?
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, not only that, not only
like
the good lesson they learned
newest
from
trilogy.
Marvel, but the bad lesson they learned from Star Wars, where they didn't do that, and they were like, okay, we didn't do that here, and we did do that here. We saw what worked. So I think,
and which one was a fucking dumpster fire?
yeah, I think Disney definitely learned a lesson.
They shit with the movies and trying to crank the movies out as fast and as hard as they could and stuff. But then they went and started making the TV shows, and now the TV show, like, to be honest, I would rather they just stick to doing that for a while instead of even worrying about making movies. Like, lay the fuck off the movies. We've got 9+ now. We got 11. Yeah, we got like 11 of the movies. Good on movies. We're full up. It's cool.
We got enough movies.
Making the TV shows.
Yeah, and their TV show story.
You're doing good.
Honestly,
Don't
far
fight off more than
superior
you can chew.
lately.
Well, speaking of more movies, because we've got more to go on the list.
Fuck.
Yeah,
We-
Not done.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That was only 2 of the 3.
yeah.
And I mean, real quick too, just the fact that like, okay, when they were putting out the sequel trilogy, and it was like every year there was going to be a new episode of the trilogy, and in between those, we're going to be putting out like the can't think of how to get out of the pun, but like a solo movie.
The Star Wars
Sorry.
stories.
I can't get around it. I don't have the verbiage.
That was so bad. Not the pun, the movie. Well, both, but like the movie.
I want to focus on how bad the movie was, though. No, the movie I
didn't
thought
like
was
it.
lacking. I enjoyed it for what it was, but it wasn't like my favorite.
I feel like
know?
the best word to describe that movie is unnecessary.
Forced nostalgia. That's my word
cool.
for it.
Like, it was cool in the sense that
Also,
like,
Emilia
okay,
Clarke is fucking.
they basically did like
fine.
the space western with like, okay, they had the train robbery and all that stuff. Like, it was interesting, but it being this big tent pole blockbuster that, like, no, that's why they shot themselves in the foot, especially after coming off of
Rogue One.
the shitstorm that The Last Jedi ended up generating and everything, and it was just like it was the start of them shooting themselves in the foot. I mean, if they even honestly too, I think like if they had put out The Last Jedi, gave it like a year, the Han Solo movie, and then did another year for the next sequel movie, audiences would have been a lot more forgiving and stuff. And they put it out like, what was it? It came out the same month as I think Infinity War and like Deadpool 2 or something. Like there was like 2 or 3 other quote unquote blockbusters that they just loaded up that month anyway, and that was the time when studios were just pumping those things out left and right, and then they were complaining that like, well, they're not making their money back. Yeah, you're pumping out those things so damn much and stuff. People only go to the movies so many times. We're not living in the damn theaters. I'm sure shit ain't living in the theaters now.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, it's just like, what did you think was going to happen? And but the movie itself is a lot of fun, despite some of the obnoxious fans. It's that obnoxious fan service that we talked about in the Ghostbusters episode.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
Yeah.
that's the thing is like there's such thing as productive fan service,
Yeah.
and then there is I didn't need to fucking know where he got the gun from.
Yeah.
Well, see,
I didn't need an elaborate story about where he got his name from.
I think, and I've talked about this before, I think, but I think the
Like I
most
said,
impactful thing that
unnecessary.
they could have done with a Han Solo movie is 100% focus on his and Chewie's origin and relationship, which were like nuances basically in that movie at best, in my opinion. Because yeah, they like touched on it or like, alluded and blah blah blah. But like the whole movie should have been about fucking how Han saved Chewie from, slavery, being because he was an Imperial pilot, cadet or whatever. And like that's where he gained the life debt from Chewie. And like that should have been, I think, the whole focus. Like a fucking jailbreak to get like that could have been like basically the climax of that movie. And then like where they go after, and like sure, that's where you could kind of incorporate and have like, Lando and stuff like that. Although arguably he's, one of the biggest saving graces for that movie, but
Oh
it is
well.
what it is. Oh well. Sorry, Richard.
No,
On to the third movie.
Well, actually, hold on. This would technically be what, the fifth now, because we talked about Rogue Squadron, the
Oh, shit, I guess
Taika
you're right.
Waititi one, and then the Rian Johnson trilogy. So next up, we've got Kevin Feige's untitled Star Wars movie.
Oh yeah, I keep hearing about that.
Not a whole lot to know about it other than who's directed it, but
Well,
Is Kevin
I'm on
Feige a
board.
director? I mean,
He's usually
is
a producer, typically, right?
director, producer,
Yeah,
whatever. It's
producer.
his movie.
Okay.
That's the only thing we know.
Gotcha.
And we know he's approached a major actor about being in the movie, but like we don't know who or anything like that. But then
Surprise, surprise! Disney's gonna throw ducats at like getting an all-star cast. Like,
Yeah.
no surprise.
then we've got J.D. Dillard's untitled Star Wars movie.
ooh,
I'm not familiar with that.
He worked on Luke Cage and Agents of Shield and
Okay.
stuff like that. And that's really all we know. Then we get to talk about the shows. So we know, of course, Obi-Wan Kenobi is coming out later this month. Which have we seen the trailer?
I have.
yeah, I have.
I'm trying to think. Have I? I'm sure I have.
Can I point out? I would like to point out that we were blessed with the character design of a Mr. Cad Bane, while we have been absolutely cursed by the character design of a certain Grand Inquisitor.
Yeah.
No.
I know what you're talking about.
No offense to that actor, but
Yeah, he just does not look great. I get what they're going for, but like his head is even more pronounced in like the animated series that he's appeared in, and like comics that he's drawn in and things like that. He basically feels like he got Voldemort treatment, essentially. You know what I mean? Like type shit. He just looks very. I don't know. It does not look like what I had imagined. I guess him looking like in a real life adaptation, but I don't know. We saw what they did with Grand Moff Tarkin. I don't know that there's not a whole lot they couldn't achieve visually, but so like maybe there was a solution, but I don't know that I have.
But I
it.
mean, even just pointing out Cad Bane, it's like that was practical. You
Yeah,
couldn't have-
yeah.
You
Even
couldn't
the like slate I saw of it, because I referenced, even though I haven't seen it, I saw that like he had an appearance or whatever. Like I was like, damn, he looks legit. Like looks fucking good. And I'm
it's the
sure.
It's the same voice actor too.
Oh, is it? That's awesome. I'm sure Thrawn will be done the same way though too. Like they'll have like a really cool, way to do a chiss, in a live action setting and do it, well. But it just did not work out for the Inquisitor. I don't think he looked diff for show.
But I will say that past that, everything else in that trailer, I can look past the Grand Inquisitor because everything else looks fucking amazing.
Yeah, I was kind of indifferent to it. I'm not gonna lie, because I was just like, all right, I really don't. It's for A New Hope, he's doing shit on Tatooine. I don't really care. It is what it is. And then I saw the trailer, and I'm like, shit. All right, fine, I'm in. You win again, Star Wars. You fucking pull me back in.
They do it every time.
Yep.
And they'll get me every time, I'm sure.
Every time.
Every time.
All right, we got The Mandalorian Season 3 should be here before the end of 2022.
Wait, really?
Yes.
Something to look forward to. Thank
Oh.
fuck.
Oh, I can't wait. Mandalorian has my heart and soul. I mean,
Oh
really.
my god, yeah. I mean, we already talked about, how attached I am to that little green fucker Grogu, excuse me. Love him to death. I think he's the tits, man. He's awesome. So yeah, I'm on board for basically whatever they do that involves him.
I think The Mandalorian at this point, it's like you were just talking about like forced fan service and like productive fan service. I think The Mandalorian and by extension The Book of Boba Fett is productive fan service. Like at this point they're like a cameo machine. And like I am holding out hope that we'll get Cal Kestis eventually.
I think that would be dope. Yeah.
Yeah.
And honestly, either him or Ezra, I think would be good.
Ezra is
Hey.
happening. Ezra is happening.
And that's what I think I was alluding to earlier. I don't know that I finished my point, but like his master Kiernan or whatever, he has a very Ezra. Has a really interesting relationship with the Force post Rebels and stuff, right? He loses his master, which almost every Jedi has gone through at some point in the modern Jedi age, but he having to deal with the Empire arguably at its height, at its strongest, and where Darth Vader was as prevalent, a fucking storm of badassery and evil as he was, when he didn't know fuck all about Vader, that he didn't learn from fighting the dude or Ashoka telling him, whereas Luke and shit, obviously he had the father-son connection, so it's a little different for him probably, but so he's got a really kind of unique perspective, I feel like, or situation in the Force, and I think that'd be an interesting kind of arc for him to have a relationship with Grogu in some form, whether that be teacher and Padawan or buddy or whatever the hell the case would be. I think that would be kind of cool to explore.
All right, so next thing on my list is the Rogue One prequel series, Andor.
Oh yeah, that is still happening too, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Do we know who it's
They have
surrounding?
Diego
Is that the
Luna.
one surrounding Poe, or there's
Cassian
one around
Andor.
Poe? Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah,
Diego
which
Luna
means we're getting
reprising
plenty
the
of
role.
Alan Tudyk's K2SO.
Which is going to be amazing.
Yeah.
Yes, K2SO was fucking amazing. I love that. He's one of my favorite droids.
What was your question, Kimmy?
Oh, Diego Luna's reprising the role as Cassian, isn't he?
Yes.
Okay, good.
Yeah,
Right.
it's a prequel, but it's really
It's like right
Close.
before. Yeah.
yeah.
Okay.
I think it was just them wanting to get Alan Tudyk into something.
Well, they've got him in basically every animated film
Oh,
that they
he
put
is-
out right now on the Disney Pixar side. So
He is a Disney whore, and then every once in a while goes over and does Doom Patrol.
Yep.
He's actually in Doom Patrol, and he's doing Resident Alien, which is also a comic book movie. He was in a Marvel one too. What was it? Guardians? No. He was a hillbilly in it, or a redneck, or whatever they called him. But he was just a side character. I want to see him in something more hardcore.
Yeah.
At this point, when Disney has an animal sidekick they need voiced, they just call up Tudyk and they're like, "Hey, can you do a
he's
chicken?"
typecast for that at this point, but
Yeah.
it seems so strange to think about. This is the guy who sat on the helm deck of a fucking star vessel,
Yeah.
and with dinosaur action figures, fought with them, was like, curse your inevitable betrayal. This whole dramatic. He's a great actor. Okay,
Yes.
he can do
Yes.
more than a fucking hey chicken cluck.
Yes, absolutely. I think he just likes doing the hey chicken clucks.
I mean, he obviously is very good at that too, but
I think
Dude's
he
got
likes being
range.
the Duke of Wesselton. All right, then we got the Ahsoka show.
Which I think is where Ezra's gonna pop in.
It's got to be, right? I mean, like that's like her whole arc is.
Which, I mean, yeah, I guess it's kind of shitty that her whole arc is finding someone, but
Well, they still have Thrawn to deal with. I mean, that was the original plan when they announced all the different shows, was that they were going to have kind of all of them intersecting and stuff, but then all the characters were supposed to come together for some kind of finale. And then as soon as the first episode with Ahsoka, she's trying to find information on where Thrawn is. So it's like, okay, we've kind of got our big bad that they'll build up to.
mm-hmm.
This is another one that, like, if Cal Kestis doesn't show up in Mandalorian, I think it's going to be in the Ahsoka show.
It would be crazy to get both of them in the same, like, mini-series or whatever, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Have them both introduced in that same one.
Yeah, because isn't the Ahsoka show, it's supposed to be a mini-series, isn't it?
Well, yes. Yes.
I guess so.
Okay.
I mean, if it does really good, they'll do another season. That's just how it's going to go. But
well, because there was one of them that was because most of them they're just it's the new show or whatever, or it's a series and stuff. But yeah, there was one of them. I think it was the Ahsoka show, but yeah, there was one of them that they explicitly stated was supposed to be a mini series. So I'm not sure if it was going to just be like basically a 4-hour movie or what have you. But
right.
The only things I know from my list here is that it says it will continue Ahsoka's search for Thrawn. We'll see Hayden Christensen back as Anakin Skywalker somewhere in the series, and Mary Elizabeth Winstead has been cast, but as an undisclosed role.
Well, I've got to see it for sure now.
I do have to say, I think that there is a TV series that could have Cal Kestis in it that we've overlooked. And I believe that could be the Obi-Wan Kenobi show.
You think so?
Yep.
Okay, yeah, I can see that. Because Cal Kestis' whole thing at the end of the game, he's got this list of Force-sensitive kids and where they're hiding, and what is Obi-Wan doing other than hiding this Force-sensitive kid. So, yeah, that makes sense.
And also, he'd be about the right age range, too.
Yeah, you're right.
I think so.
You right? Shit.
Yeah, because I actually think that, waiting for the Ahsoka show, he'd be too old. But then again, he's about Ahsoka's age, isn't he?
Yeah,
I
think
so.
so.
Do they age differently?
I don't know.
We
I
know.
can't remember.
We know Cal
remember the name,
Kestis was like a kid, a youngling, maybe a bit of an older youngling, but a youngling when Order 66 happened.
Yeah, he would have been around the same age as as Freddie Prinze Jr.'s character in Rebels. He'd be about the same age as him.
Yeah.
Which I think was like roughly like 12, something like that, because they were a Padawan. They were Padawans. They had lightsabers and whatnot. Or they had built their first lightsaber anyway. So yeah, I think that's probably about right.
Oh, and well, you know what? I take that back. He met Vader.
Yes.
So he met Vader when he was probably maybe I would say early 20s.
Yeah.
Does that sound about right?
I think so.
You're talking Ezra?
No, Cal Kestis.
Cal? Well, you run into Vader during the course of...
Yeah, when Vader had to hold back an entire fucking ocean.
Yeah, it was nuts.
Yeah.
He was what? Like, he was, I would say, probably late teens then. You think he was 20 at that time?
I'm trying to... There are people better at laying out timelines
range
than I am.
Yeah, I'm not great at it either.
This is why I use the Order 66, because, like, we know he's, like, preteen age when Order 66 comes around. So wherever that puts it in the timeline, like, there it is.
Right.
And we know that later on Inquisitors are hunting him down and, like, he runs into Vader. And so I think the timeline of the shows we've got now is a perfect time for Cal Kestis. I mean, an older Cal Kestis, sure, but...
I mean, shit, that didn't stop Obi.
Yeah.
Nor did it stop Yoda. We saw his little green ass flipping around, fighting Darth Sidious. Sheesh.
But next on my list after the Ahsoka show is the Lando show.
Hell yeah.
Wait, what?
Yeah, more
I didn't
Donald
know that was necessarily going to thing, but
more
so
Donald Glover
Glover's going to do it.
as
Hell
Lando
yeah.
Calrissian.
Hell yeah, I'm for that.
Huh.
Apparently, Justin, excuse me if I pronounce this wrong, Justin Simeon, creator of Dear White People, will act as the showrunner.
Oh, okay, neat. My wife loved that show, or I think it was a show, right? Or was it a movie? It was a movie.
I think it was a series. Or
Was it a
both.
series?
It might be both.
I don't know. I just remember she watched like all of it on Netflix or whatever platform it was on, and she loved it.
I guess I should watch that show. It was literally addressed to me.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah, don't be rude and not RSVP, Richard. God.
After the Lando show is The Acolyte, which is exciting because that's the show that will take place toward the end of the High Republic era.
Oh.
Okay. I'm for that.
Mm-hmm.
About it. All I know is like when I was growing up with Star Wars and shit, and like, man, I remember how excited I was when they announced the prequel trilogy. And I was like, how fucking cool is it that like, these movies that like my parents grew up with, like there's gonna be a new iteration of those that I'm growing up with and I'm fucking in love with. Like I loved the original trilogy before they announced those. Like I was in that kind of in between era. I'm a 90s kid. And I grew up with the originals, and then early 2000s they got the original or the prequel trilogy, excuse me. And never in a million years at that time would like 13-year-old Grizz have imagined like, holy fuck, in my lifetime I will be inundated with Star Wars shit. Like this is like you feel like kind of an outcast for liking this shit now, but like just you wait, kid, because the market will literally be saturated with Star Wars everything. But in 20 years,
Now you
For
can
fuck's
literally
sake,
go
you
take
know?
a resort vacation in Batuu.
right? Yeah, that's nuts to me.
Yeah.
And I want to do it. It's on my bucket list. You know what I mean? Like I don't really have a going bucket list, but like if I had to name something, like doing the full Star Wars experience at both Galaxy's Edges and getting to visit like Lucas Ranch would probably be prime among those bucket list items.
After The Acolyte on my list is A Droid Story, which is described as an epic journey that will introduce us to a new hero guided by the legendary R2-D2 and C-3PO.
Ooh.
Oh, they're gonna take like another little BB type unit under their wing and be like, "This is how we do droid shit across the galaxy."
Oh, I took that as like a new character, like hero, like a person
yeah,
being
okay.
guided
Person
by.
Maybe, yeah.
But I mean,
can
you
see
could be
that.
right. It
That's
could be a new
probably
droid.
right. It's probably more so the way you're interpreting it. But for me, I was
Maybe
just
the
like,
DL
yeah, let's
movie.
just
admit it.
introduce like new fucking droids. Like basically have like Wally, like with fucking R2-D2 and C-3PO just going across Tatooine.
Wally, a Star Wars story.
Exactly. I want to see it. Hire me, Disney. This is the type of quality content that my mind produces.
But yeah, I think that'll be cool. I mean, we were talking earlier about how like we like what they've been doing with the droids, and they get their whole basically their own whole movie or series. That'll be great.
Right. Yeah, no, for sure.
Baron, what wheels are turning here?
Okay.
Yeah.
So I've been doing
Here's a
math.
finding, sir.
I've been doing math ever since we stopped talking about Cal Kestis. Okay. Obi-Wan Kenobi, the TV series, is set 10 years after the events of Episode 3, which was 19 BBY.
Okay.
So 10 years after. So let's just say Cal Kestis is...
What's that, before the Battle of Yavin?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
So Cal Kestis was 12 when the Purge happened. Order 66 went down. So 10 years after that would make him 22. The actor's 29.
Uh-huh.
He could...
But he passed for like late teens as Jerome as the Joker. in-
Yeah.
But here's the thing, though.
He could easily pass for 22.
But here's the thing, though. Obi-Wan happens 10 years after. So Obi-Wan happens how many years before...
Fallen Order.
Oh, wait, so, okay, Yavin happens in Return of the Jedi, correct?
New Hope.
New Hope.
Original
I'm sorry.
movie.
Right. And so that's another 9 years. And then that's 5 years in between New Hope and Return of the Jedi.
Talking 29 total.
Yes. More or
The
less.
actor is 29 years old.
Yeah.
Holy fuck!
He could totally show
Confirmed.
Mandalorian.
That
Mandalorian.
makes sense.
He's going to be in
Did
Mandalorian.
you just Charlie
That's
Day,
confirmed.
Pepe Sylvia this shit? Like,
He 100% did. We watched it. Like the viewers at home. I'm so sorry you won't get to see, but like
the
us sitting here in
whiteboard
this
setup
hall-
he's got is fantastic.
Who says there's no practical application of math?
And as you can see, I'm using only red and blue yarn for the good things, and I'm using red yarn for the bad things.
It's got a black circle.
Don't ask about that, please.
It's the whole.
You'll
Talk about my black hole.
you'll see in the Obi-Wan show what that black hole is.
Yeah.
All will be revealed.
All will be revealed. Anyways, but yeah, so so that means him being that age, he could totally show up. I wonder if they did that on purpose. But anyways, so that means he could totally show up in the
We'll
Ahsoka
never
show. He could
know.
totally show up. He could totally show up in the Mandalorian show.
Yeah.
He could. At the age he is now, they'd have to maybe de-age him just a little bit, because he's
I don't
actually
think so.
like Grizz was saying, he was like 17 in Fallen Order. So
I don't think they'll have to de-age him. I mean, like, the dude can play young, I think.
right, but at the same time, it's like, you know what? That just even points even harder. Is like they went out of their way to make that character look like the actor.
Yeah.
Also, the lady, the fallen Jedi
Exiled
Master.
Jedi.
Yeah.
It starts with a C. I can't remember her name. She was
Rebel
super
Wilson?
cool. Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes! Man, when I figured out who that was, I lost my fucking shit. I was like,
I know, that's
okay. I was
yeah.
like, where have I heard that name before? Where have I... Whitney Houston?
Yup.
What?
Mad TV, baby.
Man.
And now she got a lightsaber.
What a fucking amazing actress she is.
Yes.
Yes.
Like, I always saw her in like Mad TV and stuff like that, and she was funny, but I never had a chance to actually see her actually act and stuff. And then the first chance I get, she's in a fucking video. You know what? It was hard for me to recognize who she was in that video game. I may have seen her in other things, but I just didn't even realize it.
Fair.
I'm always afraid every time we do one of these Star Wars episodes, I'm gonna get accused of sucking that game's dick because of like how much I want to see more of that
accuse me.
story. But like,
Excuse me.
yeah,
I
I'm
fondled
glad
that
I'm
game's
not
balls
alone
while
here.
I was
That game is amazing.
like, and I just want to
it's
see
got
so
a
much
really
more of that
cool
story. Like,
Yeah.
It's so good.
it's so good.
I will say that was did they do the no they didn't. The whole umbrella lightsabers where they just kind of fly away with them. Did they do that in Fallen Order, or did I see that in Rebels and just
That
kind
was
of lost my fucking
Visions.
mind? No, they did a thing
It was
in,
Rebels. I know what you're talking about.
okay.
Oh, it was
Rebels.
so
I haven't
fucking
seen
dumb.
Rebels, so
I lost my shit when they just like boom, and they popped out. I'm like, you better not do what I think you're about to
And
do.
they're like,
It's like,
yeah.
oh,
It's like fucking like Breath of the Wild style glider equivalent of a lightsaber. Like,
Yeah,
yeah.
they take it off like the penguin, like with his umbrella
yes,
thing.
yes,
What?
yes.
Yeah.
and that's
exact-
canon.
Feels like where the inspiration was drawn from. 100%.
That's canon.
I'm just like, yep,
I'm
there
Mary
they
Poppins,
go.
y'all.
They totally yondu'd it.
Oh man, I was so fucking mad when I saw that.
All right, hold on. We got one show left, and it's not even that big of a one. It's one everybody expected. We're gonna get Bad Batch season 2.
Oh, right. Which is good. It was good stuff. I want to see what happens with Omega. I would love to see Omega show up in a live action show as well. Which also, Bad Batch brings up the whole, how many shows are we going to see Tamara Morrison in?
Yeah.
He's got to show up in Obi-Wan. He's got to. I'm pretty sure I saw his bald ass getting chased down by Grand Inquisitor in the previews. I'm almost positive.
Very likely could happen.
And it's probably like Cody or whichever one of them they are. He's probably going to get sliced up by that lightsaber, and then he's going to be in a bacta tank for the rest of the show. It's going to be crazy.
Yeah.
You've seen it once, you've seen it 100 times. Sliced up in the fucking back to tank. God damn it.
Tamara Morrison. Well, actually, half of Boba Fett is Tamara Morrison in a bacta tank.
It is.
Oh, okay. Well,
It
fair
really
enough.
is.
A quarter. It's
Oh, okay.
It's a quarter.
Well, it depends on
Okay.
how you count it, because like half of it might not be actually seeing him in the back to tank, but if you count all of the flashbacks as him in the back to tank, then it's at least half.
At least. Though I will say this. Those flashbacks were cool. I
Yeah.
also I like them establishing like a whole spirituality with the Tusken Raiders.
I
Yeah.
think that they needed, in order to make Boba Fett the person that he is in that series, that was 100% necessary. Because
It had to
there's
happen.
no way Boba Fett becomes the Daimyo that Boba Fett becomes if he hadn't had that awakening. Like, if he'd have just been the pissed off motherfucker that climbed out of the fucking Sarlacc pit,
Sarlacc.
yeah, then no way he would have been the person that he is as
Right.
the Daimyo.
Right.
Which, sorry, I know that's more that you don't know what we're talking about because you haven't seen the series, but it's fucking good.
Yeah, and it'll make sense when I do get around
Yeah.
to watching it.
Okay, so, like, we've barely touched on Visions, and, like, we're running out of time here, and I feel like Star Wars Visions was fucking fantastic, and it
Fucking
needs to be talked about.
Well, I'm going to use my guild decree right here, right now, to demand you forgive me because I haven't seen Visions either.
What?
Yep.
I thought
I
we started out this podcast with someone saying that you had watched it.
That
I
was
think
me.
Rick
I
said
think
that-
I think I just assumed.
Huh.
Yeah, I can't remember if we have ever talked about it, and that was one that it didn't come to mind when I was mentioning like I hadn't seen Book of Boba and stuff like that.
Okay.
But yeah, I haven't caught Visions either. It's been
Well-
on my list, but I haven't.
You
I
could
was
knock
looking
out
at it and I was
Visions
like,
in
No-
such a small period of time.
yeah,
You-
because I know they're just like animated shorts, right? Like a couple,
Yeah.
like what 9 episodes. that
It's
are
the
between,
Star
like,
Wars
15 to
version of the
20 minutes or
Animatrix.
something.
Yeah. Well, except for it's completely non-canon.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
And that's
But
cool. Yeah, no, when you had said that, I was like, I think I. And then I looked it up like while we were talking about something, and I was like, you know what? No, I have not seen this. So I just wanted to make that correction, and then also demand forgiveness.
No, it's fine. You're in for a treat.
Well,
I think you'll love it.
You used your guild decree, so I have no choice. You're forgiven.
Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. I am not worthy, but thank you, thank you.
But yeah, I loved Visions because I feel like even though it's not canon, making it not canon was perfect because it allowed people to completely explore the artistic nature that comes with Star Wars.
Absolutely. And I think that's something really cool that like Marvel's done in their comics for a long time. Just look at like the What If series, or they like in recent there's a really cool Japanese artist that they had inking or drawing for some of their newer books named I have it. I just would have to go grab it out of my long box. But it was Peach Momoko. That's her name. I was like Momo. Like that was the only thing that stuck in my ADHD brain. But yeah, Peach Momoko. And she did this subset series that initially was like based around Psylocke, but she did a lot of other characters too. And they were done almost in this like feudal Japan type of art style and like kind of a pseudo setting in that kind of era as well. But again, obviously they weren't canon. They were in some cases like retellings of certain past happenings, or in some cases their original like kind of short stories or whatever. But they were all really cool, super like beautifully done. And I think that's something that they could very likely be achieving well, to your point, with these kind of TV series and stuff too, like that kind of the disassociation with the hardcore like lore necessarily, and then giving them that like artistic free agency is really, really cool to see.
I'd love to know, for those who have seen it, which one your favorite one was.
Everybody but Grizz.
My favorite one?
Yeah, your favorite of the Star Wars Visions.
I will say that I really enjoyed. We'll go back to the Umbrella one. I don't know the names of them. My big three were the Umbrella one, the Sith with the umbrella lightsaber.
Mhm.
The what was the one where they went up and they fought that old man? They were all so good, and the cutesy robot one.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah, they were so good.
Kimmy?
I haven't seen it.
Oh, also haven't seen it. Well,
Oh
I-
wait, okay, so you haven't seen Visions either.
I think you should.
No.
You could knock
Oh,
it out.
okay,
Like I
okay.
said, you can knock it out really quick. I mean, like it's like an evening. It's not like you got to binge watch it like you do other stuff. Like you can knock it out pretty quick, and it's got some really good stories in it. My favorite is the one of the Jedi youngling who says fuck this, and becomes a rock star.
Oh, that was good. Yeah, that was a good one.
That's dope.
He turns his
I
lightsaber
gotta
into a
catch
mic.
that.
Yeah,
What?
yeah,
That's metal.
yeah.
Mhm.
It's fucking awesome, and then of course one of your favorites as well, like the samurai story of the Sith hunter who can't turn his lightsaber off. So like that's like it got popular on TikTok for a while because of the sound that came from it, but like he can't turn his lightsaber off, so he made a sheath for it, and like he pulls it out like samurai style, and
That's
like
fucking rad.
the Sith who he's hunting, is like, oh my god, look at his lightsaber color, it's red, and he's like hunting Sith using this red lightsaber, and like he's got a droid buddy, and it's a really good story.
That's so badass.
Mhm.
Yeah, that one I'm sure will probably be my favorite because I love like samurai and ninja and that kind of stuff.
Yeah, his Funko Pop comes out in September, Target exclusive. I've already pre-ordered it.
Hashtag ad.
No, hashtag not
No,
an ad. God,
no, I
hashtag
know,
I
I
wish
know.
it was an ad. Funko,
Yeah.
fucking send me
Hash-
some free shit. Like, god damn it.
Hashtag
Look
not
at-
sponsored.
And if they could see the background of you got like walls of the thing.
I'm coming up on 300.
Sheesh.
This is
It's a fair bit.
This is who I wish was still around, is the Disney Infinity game,
Oh yeah.
to get figures like that.
Yeah, I do love like they did have some really cool done figures for sure.
They just didn't.
Um,
they just didn't make a good. They didn't make a game. Like it was literally.
They didn't make
just-
a good game, correct?
Yeah, it
Yeah.
is.
They had
I
an
wouldn't mean that
amazing
they didn't
idea,
make a
but
good game.
fell
They didn't
short.
make a game. Like Disney Infinity
that's
wasn't even
fair,
really
yeah.
a game. Like it was like, oh, it was here's a.
It was more like an interactive sandbox. Where
Yeah.
you could play with characters you know and love, type of shit. Like I remember I fucked around with that game with my nephews a bit, and like half the time we would just end up trying to build little obstacle courses or throw together a soccer court like in the middle of the city and just fucking play that.
Yeah, because even
with,
the
like,
levels that they would make, you could only play with the characters
coins.
of
And then
those.
the characters.
Yeah,
Yeah,
like you
I
couldn't
think
even.
you had to go through it like 100% the level, and then you could like do like Lego style where you could drop in with other characters. Maybe
Yeah,
I may be misremembering that, but I think maybe that was the only way you could do it.
there was a way to handle it correctly, and the way they did it was not it, and that's why it failed. Well, to be fair, I think it would have failed eventually because all the Toys to Life stuff did. The only thing that's still around,
Even
kind
amiibos
of,
are
yeah,
really the only, and that's for the strict collection value. Really, I
Mhm.
mean, the in-game content is really just icing on the amiibo cake for most people because, as we all know, you can go on Etsy or wherever the fuck else. Hell, if you have the ability to write NFC yourself, you don't even need Etsy, but you can get the files and make your
Mhm.
own NFC tags. You don't need the physical amiibo. But god damn it, if I ever get a chance to get a Knights of Solaire amiibo, I mean, I'd give my left nut for a Knights of Solaire amiibo. Praise the motherfucking sun, because like that shit is dope.
you
I don't
heard
even
it
have
here. If
Dark
you're
Souls
looking for a
on
left
Switch.
nut and you have a Knights of Solaire amiibo, just email
Full
us,
disclosure,
castersguild@gmail.com.
cannot guarantee its status of working or not by the time you get it, but
But if you just want one, like in a jar. or
yeah, if you
something
just
like that.
want like, hey man, there's a dude named Grizz and I have left nut from Grizz. That's the way it'll be labeled on the jar. Super official. You'll get a certificate of authenticity, paw printed by me.
Yeah,
Hey
just
yo, let's go. Knights of
email us.
Solaire. Yeah, hit up that inbox. Get them, Knights of Slayer offers coming in hot.
He'll even praise the sun for you while they're chopping it off.
Hell yeah, bro. Sheesh. You know me. I'm always good for a meme or two.
All right. So, anything anybody want to talk about that we haven't hit?
I think we've rounded the Kessel Run a few times, my friend.
Yeah. So, we've already done this twice, and our third time, and we just keep getting more and more and more content. And as you can hear throughout the course of this podcast, we are just going to keep getting more and more and more content. I think that this episode is never going, as long as we are going to keep doing Star Wars episodes, because we are never going to run out of stuff to talk about. And you know what? I'm perfectly okay with that. As a huge Star Wars fan, I want there to be more Star Wars content, even though it's put out by a soulless corporation. I want to be able to enjoy what's coming through the course of these amazing artists that they are putting out. These directors, these writers, these actors and actresses. It's again, I bring up the soulless corporation, but you know what? They're giving real artists some really good platform to show us what they got, and I can't wait. I can't wait to see what they got. Specifically, again, Taika Waititi. I mean, my God, this man. Huge fan of this man since, I'm not going to say Green Lantern, but we will say...
What We Do in the Shadows?
What We Do in Shadows.
Yes. Oh, so good.
Yeah.
The original. What We Do in the Shadows,
well, I mean,
yeah.
Yeah. Which the TV show is great, too.
Yeah, it's still great.
I don't think they were... It's just great, but yeah. I can't wait to see what everybody has, and yeah, that's it.
All right. Kimmy, Grizz, if people like what you had to say
things.
and they want to find you anywhere on the internet, where can they do that?
Well, I'm not currently, as of the recording or posting of this podcast, extremely active at the moment. But I do have plans to get that wheelhouse back going, and I got a couple of things around. But you can typically find me like on Twitter at Grizz of the Wild. I think my YouTube is Grizz of the Wild as well. And then Discord, I'm Grizz. You can find me in the Casters Guild or Discord, member Discord as well. So,
Kimmy?
I'm on Twitter and Instagram that I may or may not use under Out in the Weird. And actually, I do want to say before we finish this up, you guys actually do need to make a third episode. Then you'll have a trilogy.
So this is it.
This is the third.
This is number 3.
Yeah, so this is our original trilogy right here.
Uh-huh. Welcome
God,
to the third episode of our Ridge Tridge.
You're capping off the original Tridge, the Ridge Tridge. I think I spent my first ever guild decree on making the Ridge Tridge the way that we refer to the Star Wars movies going forward. Was it not?
I'd have to look back.
I think because it was a terrible enough joke for me to definitely have said it, and I am not ashamed to take credit for it. So, I mean,
as well you should.
But yeah, thanks for joining us to cap off this Ridge Tridge there, Kimmy.
And I will also say, like Grizz pointed out, if anybody wants to talk to anybody, we're all pretty much on Discord in the Casters Guild group. Come in, drop a line, tag one of us in it, talk to us. Tell me that my idea is shitty. Tell me how much you love Rian Johnson and that I'm a piece of shit for thinking these bad things about Rian Johnson.
Tell us how much we're sucking Fallen Order's dick.
I mean, I'll show you. I have sex tapes.
Find that in the
son of a
Not Safe
bitch,
for Work
you
channel on our
cold.
Discord. All right. Thank you so much for tuning in to this episode of Casters Guild. Email us at castersguild@gmail.com. Find us on all the socials. Make sure you check out that link for T-Villain in the description down below. Get yourself a cool t-shirt and support the Casters Guild. We will see you in the next one. Bye-bye, everybody.
Bye.
Guys, much
Bye.
love.
Bye. 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 Bye.
May the Force be with you.
And also with you.
This is the way.
This is the way.
I have spoken.
We have spoken.